So last time we tried to go live, YouTube didn't want to cooperate. Um, the weather has not cooperated with going out on knots. It's just been raining and it's muddy and I don't know, mud yoga might be fun. Not by myself, that'd be weird. So, so I've decided today I am up on my little deck and probably going to be included here with the cat and just kind of give everybody a couple of minutes to come in. Not sure how many. I know this is kind of an odd time of the day. Not sure how many live streamers we're going to get in today. Um, I see. I can see whether I've got anybody commenting. I'll have to get up and get up close and personal just to read it. Oh, good. Now I have two cats to help out with yoga today. Got a little hot tea to get us started. So, if you're joining me this morning or whether you pick up this evening, uh, throw you on some music. Got a little something coming across the screen. Let me just jump up here real quick and get a little close to you and see what we got. I missed it. Who was that? Yeah, I can't read from clear across the deck. Anyway, I'll just have to go back and look at the comments here after a while. So anyway, hoping maybe my niece in New York can jump in. My sister, as we lovingly call each other still, in Florida. My parents, Florida. I mean, we've got people everywhere. And got a little extra power going on here today. Ashley left her headband laying, hanging on the coat rack, so I put on Ashley. So we're gonna feed through Ashley today. So, okay, something I want to discuss with you before we get started is after talking with some friends, people, so on and so forth. Some things that's gone on here on the farm this week, which is one reason why we have this live stream now. We don't fight during yoga, okay? We don't fight during yoga. Children. And, but something that I've noticed and other people have noticed, and we've just talked about and this and that, is, I started doing yoga because it was fun. Somebody else got started in yoga, and I'm glad she did. And but I got hooked. It's like it's like crack, man. You just get hooked. Hello, and I did it because it's fun, and I really like how good a shape I got in, and then I started taking it a bit more seriously over the last I don't know, the last year, and I'm not serious. I'm not a serious person. I mean, I am when I have to. We don't fight during yoga. Really? Stop it. See, this is my life. This is my life. That's why we don't take things seriously. So anyway, as I was saying, I normally take things pretty lighthearted. Anybody that really knows me, I love to joke around. I love to have a good time. But I've noticed in my yoga classes, I'm taking things a little serious. I'm serious about your health and I'm serious about you enjoying yoga. But you know what? One thing that we do on a Monday night's meeting at the winery is we had fun. We had fun. If you want to talk during my yoga class, you talk during my yoga class. If you want to make some funny comment, you do it. Who cares? And we're going back to that, people. We are going back to that. After this week, some of the things that happened, I realized that no, screw being this serious thing. I'm going back to me. I'm going back to having a good time. I suggest this to other people. Um, one of my yogis that's in my class is like, yeah, I've seen some people start to get a little more serious in this and that. You know what? Take your class back to fun. So today, we're doing whatever. We're going to stretch. We're going to do our yoga. We're going to have a good time. If my language isn't proper, if my how I tell you to do something isn't exact, so what? So what? I'm here for you, and I'm also here for me. So take back your fun. Take back your happy. Put yourself in front of some other people for a change, and enjoy stuff. Do for other people. If all of this is going on in the world right now has taught us anything, I hope that it doesn't go back to exactly the way it was, because people needed to learn to help other people, to be there for other people and support other people. But at the same time, learn to stand on your own 2 feet and take back your life, because we were giving it away. So that is my yoga preach for this morning. And if you didn't hear that, just zip through it. But anyway, so we're going to have our tea. We're going to have a yoga mat, and we're going to have some enjoyment. So put on whatever kind of music you want, or you can just listen to the birds that I have in the background. I'm sure we're going to have cat fights. You may hear the donkey bray. You may hear the sheep. That's what happens when you can't go out on location. So tea. Already had my coffee with Bailey, so my tea. No, I'm kidding. Um, so for whoever's out there, let's find ourselves in a seated position and nice straight back. Let's close our eyes and take a deep breath, and then just let it out. We're just going to cleanse our lungs. Do that a few times. Don't pass out. We do it. One thing you'll find in the mornings is that you don't breathe deep at night. So you have all this buildup and your chest is tight. So let's just, might make you a little lightheaded right off the bat because you haven't been breathing. Okay. Now let's just close our eyes and let's just find our nice comfy position. And let's let our breathing go to normal. And let's just start listening to the sounds around us. Whether it be the birds, the wind, your music. Start to relax. Start to breathe in happiness, breathe in peace. If you woke up in a bad mood, just let go. Breathe in. I'm worth this. I'm happy. I'm excited. Breathe in all your positive words and let go of the negative. This is one of those days that you can just be relaxed. And start to pay attention to your breath. Listen to how it enters through your nose, fills up your chest and belly. As you exhale, really draw that exhale out. Feel how that feels to empty your chest and all your lungs, your belly, your head. Now start to set your intention. Something I don't normally do, but I'm going to tell you what my intention is today. My intention is peace, self-awareness, and importance. I'm going to breathe peace into everything I do today. I'm going to become aware of how everything makes me feel. And if it's negative, I'm not going to do it. And I'm going to remember that I am important, and what I do is important, and what I need to do is important. Meaning that I'm not going to put everything else in front of my importance today. It's not selfish, because we give that away so much that it causes stress, and it causes feelings of sadness. So maybe something I have to do for somebody else has to wait just a little bit longer. But you know what? My stuff's important. And now we get to hear the dog bark again. And Mark yell at the dog. So after we have our intentions set, let's just raise our arms up over our head, inhaling really deep. Maybe look up between your fingers. Point those fingers to the sky and stretch. And exhale. Dropping our head, dropping our shoulders. Let's inhale. Let's do that again. Let's stretch to the sky, pointing those fingers up, bringing those elbows in, bringing those shoulders in, opening everything up. Hold it. And exhale. Dropping our head, dropping our shoulders. Feeling how that starts to open up. So let's inhale one more time up over our heads, stretching. Really try to bring those elbows into the sides of your face. Inhaling really deep. Feel it tighten across your back because you're tight. And as you exhale this time, let's bring our arms back, our left arm back, right arm to the front. Bring them on down, exhaling, and let's place our right hand to the outside of our left leg and use our hand back here as a kickstand, our left hand, and let's just really stretch straight up. Keep that spine straight up, push that chest out, and turn, looking over our shoulder. You can use this hand, this right arm to kind of put some up pressure. Roll that left shoulder back and open. Really drop that front right shoulder. Get that full stretch going on there. Turning our head to look over our left shoulder and feeling that stretch. Forcing our spine to become straight. Let's take a next inhale. And let's bring our arms up over and let's stretch those arms up. And as we exhale, we're going to switch to the other side. Really feel. Might be a little tight in some spots here that you weren't on the other side. Once again, drop this front shoulder and roll it back. Roll that back shoulder. Roll it back. Twisting around. Looking over that left or that right shoulder. My view, I can see the alpacas out here in this patch between our oats and our garden, and they're eating clover. It's arms up overhead. And then let's go back to the other side as we exhale. Inhale, arms overhead. Exhale, twisting to the other side. As you do your movements, between your movements, make them deliberate. You know, just really feel how they move. They don't have to be perfect, but just feel how they move. Let's put our arms up over our head and exhale, forward fold. And let's just put our hands out to the side with our palms on the floor as much as you can. If you want to take a block and rest your head on it because you don't have the flexibility or your lower back is really stiff, do it because we're going to hold this pose for just a few breaths. So just lean into that block. And you may start out here, and then you may end up with it not here. And having these arms back here, off to the side and back, gives you a whole different stretch. Now, I don't know about you this morning because it's early in the morning. Well, not real super early, but anyway. I can feel a good stretch there, not only in my lower back, but I can actually feel it in the back of my buttocks, in my rump. Buttocks. My booty. it's a it's a nice little stretch there that's not overpowering. And if you are really not flexible, guys, stack your blocks. Whatever feels good. So let's take a few more breaths here. And slowly, let's raise ourselves up. Arms overhead. Now let's exhale and let's come right back down. This time you may be a little lower than you were. If not, it doesn't matter. Okay, on your next inhale, slowly come up because you don't want to cramp your lower back. And as we inhale, arms overhead. Now let's just drop our arms back as we exhale and use them as kickstands and just kind of nice little arch in our back. That kind of just reverses what we just did a little bit. Just nice little arch. Let's roll those shoulders back. Chin kind of parallel. Don't tuck, don't look back. And just push those hips and push the chest out. But keep your booty on the floor. Not only do you feel a nice release in your lower back here, but you should feel, if you've got your hands facing fingertips back, you should feel a nice stretch across your biceps here. If you've got your shoulders rolled back far enough, you're going to feel a little stretch, nice little stretch in the biceps. Stretching out a part of your arms that don't always get stretched out. And let's breathe. Okay, from here, let's just walk our hands back up. Now let's just shake our hands out. You put a lot of pressure on. Maybe just kind of roll your hands together. Just kind of loosen that up a little bit. Okay, so now let's take and unfold our legs because they're probably asleep. Left leg out. Let's keep our right leg in for right now. Okay. First thing we're going to do is we're going to inhale, arms up overhead. We're going to chest toward the knee, and we're going to do a forward fold. Now, this is a very strange angle. You're going to feel a little pull on the inside. You might want your block right here. So let's just come down and you can have your hands out. If you're very, very flexible, keep your hands out and you can just fold over. If you're not so flexible, bend them. Use your forearms. Now, try to keep this back hip, the left booty cheek, on the floor as much as you can. So if you come up and you can only come to here before your booty starts to rise, that's fine. Then that's your stop point right there. Okay? Breathe in nice and deep. When you do, you're going to fill those tight areas. And exhale. And as you do, release that out. Try not to let this left leg rotate forward, okay? Try to keep that toe up in the air, which makes it much more difficult. Let's take 2 more nice deep breaths here. And let's inhale slowly, rise using your hands, rise as not to get a catch in your back. Arms up overhead. Now let's go to the get you in a different spot. So once again, to rest comfortably, if you want to put your block right there, let's do it. My back is a little sore this morning, a little stiff because we unloaded mulch yesterday. Starting to sprinkle. So I'm using my block this morning. 2 more breaths. Slowly rise using your hands. Guess what? Yep, you know where we're going. Arms up overhead, folding toward, chest facing, folding toward the left leg. Try to keep those toes up in the air. Try to keep the cat's butt out of your face. Two more breaths. Slowly rise. Switch legs. Oh, yeah, a little stiffer on this side. Okay. Once again, arms up overhead, turning our body toward our knee. And let's fold over. You move, cat. Once again, use your block if you need it. Trying to keep that right leg down. Try to keep that booty as close to the ground as you can. Feel that nice stretch. If you get your toe up in the air, you're feeling a nice stretch down the back, whole back of your leg. 2 more breaths. Are you going to do cat and cow with me? Okay, let's slowly rise. Arms up overhead. We're going to fold to the center. Once again, pop that block there if you want to. You got to be pretty flexible right here till I lay down in this position and stay in the center. So, I don't expect many people to be able to do it. I have a leg that keeps wanting to bend this morning. That means your hamstrings are tight. Just so you know, I am getting wet out here. It is starting to miss. Okay, let's inhale. Arms up over our head. And turning our body toward our right leg. Folding. This leg is much tighter this morning than the other one is. If it would start to rain pretty hard, we may have to do a real fast move to the inside. 2 more good breaths. Slowly rise. Okay, before we meet in the top of the mat, let's bring our legs around. Let's shake them out. So we've had them bent. And let's do an arms overhead, forward fold. Once again, place that block right there and lay on it. Having your legs a little bit farther apart is a little easier to stretch. Okay, slowly rise. Inhale. And exhale. Let's bring our legs around and let's find ourselves in cat-cow. All fours. So, arms underneath. Hips in alignment. As we drop our belly. Inhale, stretching across this lower belly. Really dropping it, sticking that booty up in the air. Feeling that arch. Exhale, push all the way up. Nice arch. Tuck that chin in. Really open those shoulder blades up. Really arch. In reverse. Really feel that pull across your abdomen muscles this morning. And of course, you can't do cat-cow without cats. And it's exhale and reverse. Run through a few cat-cows by yourself at your own pace here. You might move into your cat and cow. Kind of get a little bit of movement in there. Stretching out other parts of your body, your lower back a little bit more, your hips a little bit more. Okay, let's just widen our hands a little bit, placing them a little bit farther in front of us, curling our toes under, and let's push ourselves back into our first down dog. With your first down dog, you may want to keep your knees bent, and that may be your down dog to begin with, and that's fine. Just walk your dog. Really? I've had many people say that their dogs really help them with their yoga. Marianne says her Aikido won't stay out of the way. Yeah. Cats aren't much better. Okay, let's look up between our hands and either step or hop forward and meet at the top of the mat. Okay. Slowly rise up. Oops, I gotta turn. And let's forward fold. I'm going to adjust the camera just a little bit because I just noticed. But you probably can't see all of me. We're in our forward fold. Let's lock our elbows, our hands around our elbows maybe, and do a little bit of swaying back and forth. Really release that neck. Okay, as we're in our forward fold, let's release our hands to the mat if we're there. Let's inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, fold. Place our hands on the mat. Step or hop back into plank. Okay, let's hold our plank here for just a second. Let's concentrate on our plank. We're up on our toes. The balls of our feet are our toes. About hip width apart. Arms underneath our shoulders. Our stomach is engaged. We try to keep a nice flat back, nice flat plank. It's hard to do unless you're looking in a mirror. Okay, really engage that core. From here, let's just slowly lower down. If you're going to chaturanga, go forward on your toes, lowering down to 90. Hold, hold, hold. Exhale. Push ourselves on up to up dog, cobra, or baby cobra. So you may be here. You may even want to go to sphinx. Whatever your body's telling you today. We're on up. Curling our toes under. Let's push ourselves back into down dog. We're here in our down dog again. Let's concentrate on getting our booty up in the air. Shoulders tucked together. Maybe pushing ourselves back a little bit farther. Let's look up between our hands. Step or hop forward. Forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, fold. Hands to the mat. Step or hop back into plank. Lower down. Up dog. We're going to meet into down dog. So, curling your toes. Pushing back to down dog. We're going to do this a few more times. Looking ahead, step or hop forward. Forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift, flat back. Exhale, forward fold. Placing our hands. From this, try to do a nice flow where you're placing your hands. You're going back into your plank. Your hands haven't moved. Okay? Forward, lowering, hands and feet have not moved. Toes are curling under, pushing back into down dog. Nothing has changed. You're in the same position. See if you can work on that a little bit. It's kind of fun. Hands, look between your hands, step or hop forward. Hands are in the same position. Forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, fold. Placing our hands for our plank. Step or hop back to plank. The mat's a little wet. We're going to lean forward, lower down. Up dog. Curl on our toes. Back to down dog. One more time. Look between our hands. Step or hop forward. Forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Placing our hands, step or hop back to plank. Lean forward, lower, chaturanga or on into down dog, up dog. Dropping those shoulders back, curling the toes, down dog. All right, now let's just take our knees wide apart, feet together, and let's just fold into a child's pose as we exhale. As we are in child's pose, try to keep our booty down on our feet if we possibly can. Stretching those arms out, dropping those shoulders. Let's just lay here and take a few breaths and relax. Maybe you want to take your hands and walk them to the right. Get a little bit more of a stretch. Put your left hand on top of your right hand. And lay into that arm. Really stretches out the backside of your armpit and your lateral muscles on your back. Walk it back to the center. Reversing sides. Right hand over left. Laying down into it. Back to center. Let's take 2 more good breaths here. And let's slowly bring ourselves back up onto all fours. Let's kind of reverse our wrists here just a little bit. Take that right wrist and kind of reverse it, kind of work it around. Because we're putting a lot of pressure on them. Let's do the same thing with our left. Work it around. Okay, we're back to cat-cow. Let's do a cat and cow. So let's drop down into our cow, inhaling. And let's cat. Exhale. Do that one more time. From here, curl your toes under. Let's go to down dog. Once we're in down dog, let's raise our right leg up. And let's just, while it's here, let's just kind of work that hip around a little bit. Let's rotate it a couple times this one way, rotate it the other way. And let's just bring it through to the front between our hands. Straighten out that back leg. Make sure we get ourselves braced. Right knee over the ankle. And let's just inhale. High lunge. Nice, strong. Now, when you're in this position, this is a very awkward position for most people. It's very balance hard. Okay, really press into your feet. You want to really press into your feet. But if you will press the ball of this foot, and you'll press them apart like you're trying to rip your mat, you'll find that it helps with the balance. It's all engagement, engaging your core. From here, let's just drop our hands, rotate that back foot, finding our way into Warrior Two. Normally I would turn around, but I'm not going to, because I'm looking at my alpacas. From here, let's reverse our warrior. Try to keep that left leg nice and straight. Try to keep your angle here. Don't let it roll in. Reversing that warrior. Breathe. From your reverse warrior, let's come back to Warrior Two. You're not moving at your hips. You're moving at your upper body. From here, just lean over here and let's just find a side angle. Your side angle may be right here today where you can lean on your knee. If you can reach down to a block or the floor, then let's go there. From here, if you want to find your vine, you can reach through here on this vine, grabbing, keeping your upper shoulder rotated out. Then from here, if you really want to, you can bring that left leg up, finding your spot. And bring it on up. So you do that, release, slowly step your feet back, release your hands, meet back in Warrior Two. From here, let's pinwheel our hands around our front foot and stepping ourselves back into our plank. Let's lower down. Up dog. Curling our toes under, let's find our down dog. From our down dog, let's raise that left leg up. It's going to rotate one direction. Rotate the other. Feel that movement in the hips. From here, bring that leg up between the front feet. Your front feet. Yeah, because you're a cat or a dog today. Your hands, locking that back leg. Ooh, threw myself clear off, didn't I? Making sure we have our knee nice and even. And once we have it, let's inhale, arms overhead. Nice, strong. From here, let's rotate that back leg. Let's find our Warrior Two. A few deep breaths. Making sure our shoulders are nice and rotated back. Arms as flat as you can possibly have them. Let's inhale and reverse our warrior. From our reverse warrior, bringing the arms back to Warrior Two position, right on into a side angle. Like I said, your side angle may be here, you may have a block here, and you may be able to just reach on over. If you want your arm up here, you've got an actual side angle. If you can bring it this way, you have an extended angle. Want to challenge your balance? Look up at your hand. From here, let's rotate our hands to either side of our foot, place them, step back to plank. Let's lower. Up dog, baby cobra or cobra. Tucking our toes, finding our way into down dog. Or down donkey. From here, let's go ahead, putting our heels together, our knees apart. Let's find our way back into child's pose. And relax. Get your breathing here. We forgot to do a vine and stand on our other leg. That's what happens when you just do it as you go. Okay, from here, let's bring our knees a little bit more even, toes out behind us. And let's just put our, trying to keep it a 90-degree angle here. Let's stretch down into puppy. Really dropping that chest down. You're feeling a good stretch through the shoulders. From here, let's bring ourselves back up into our tabletop. Now, what we want to do now is we want to do pigeon. So, let's just bring this left leg up, right up here behind your hands. Extending that right leg flat behind you. Now, for those of you that do my class that cannot do this sitting or down like this because of your knees, you know how to do it on your back. So you can just roll over and you can do this on your back with the figure four. If you cannot do either one of them and you got a chair handy, you can sit in the chair and pretty much do the same exact thing. So once we have ourselves sitting up here, we can, right here may be your pigeon. Because what this is doing is this is pulling on this on the outside of this leg back here. This is really stretching that, and it's really stretching this. So you may be here. You may need to have your block. Okay, you may be right here. Wherever your pigeon's at, that's where you need to go. So let's inhale, arms overhead if you can, and lower yourself down. Trying to keep your hips as close to level as you possibly can. Try not to roll over to the left too far. Got to center yourself. You're really going to feel a good little pull here. So breathe into it. Once you get to where you can do this, and this is one of those that you could actually just lay in for a long time. I tend to sometimes hug my knee. As you go and you intensify this stretch, the more you can stretch this leg out parallel, it really gets into some other areas. Let's slowly bring yourself back up to our seated position. And then let's bring our leg around and let's just replace one leg, the other. Making sure you move slowly here. Getting yourself positioned and lower. If you're in a class where we can adjust, a lot of times they'll come around and we'll adjust the hips, because you think that you're laying where you need to be, but then you realize that the leg that's stretched out either needs to come forward or the one that's bent needs to go back to actually keep your hips in alignment, which changes the stretch. Remember to breathe into this. This one feels really good, I think. You'll find if you're laying here and you lean a little toward that straightened out leg a little bit, it really intensifies that stretch in a different place. Yeah, slowly inhale and bring yourself back up. And let's just bring our legs right on around. We're just going to shake them up. Shake them up. Ooh, shake them up. Okay. So now, let's go ahead, rotate them all around again. Bring ourselves into our tabletop position. Our peak pose for the day is going to be side crow. So if you want to try this, we can try this. Okay? Now side crow, a little different. So I always start from a down dog position, and I'm going to face you because of the way I'm going to do it. So I've got my down dog, and I bring me in. Okay, I got my arms set. Now I have a tendency sometimes to use my little wedges here, simply because I have crappy wrists. Okay, and it gives me a little bit of a little elevation in my wrist a little bit. I use fingertips more than I do full hand. Okay. So just as if you were going to go into crow, you want to bend these elbows. So bring your feet in close. Okay. I'll do this from both directions. Let's do it from this direction first. And bring your feet in close. Get those elbows to the back position. So if you were going into crow, you'd be dropping in here, and you'd be coming up, okay? Well, what we're going to do is we're going to bring this leg around, and you're going to rest this part of your body right on those elbows, across your back of your tricep muscles. So we're going to catch it here to here. We're going to lean in. And you're going to bring those legs right up as you fall. Okay? From the front, that looks like that. Now, as you're playing around with your side crow, later on down the road or whatever, or if you can already do it, maybe you want to got your crow here and you want to try to stick that leg out. There's your side crow. There's your peak pose. So you can play around with that a little bit. Once you come out of your crow, let's just sit here on our knees, stretch those, flip those wrists out. Stretch them back out. We'll find, or at least I do, because I'm skinny and my bony, that I bruise a lot when I start doing my arm balances. I'll have a tendency to bruise, and that's okay. That's okay. All right. So when you're done playing with your side crow there, let's find ourselves on our back. Okay? Let's put our feet wide apart on the mat, palms facing down. And let's just inhale and exhale. Let those shoulders drop into the mat. Inhale. On the next exhale, let's just let our knees drop to the left. Let's just lay here for just one moment. Breathing. let's inhale up to the center, exhaling to the other side. Just a few times on your own. Nice inhale to the center and exhale to the opposite side. Give yourself time at the bottom for a few, like 2 or 3 breaths so that you can get a nice stretch. Okay, let's bring it back to the center and exhale. Maybe grab your block, or your cat, or your dog, whichever one seems to be working for you right now. And just slide that block, raise your hips up and slide it right up underneath that flat spot. Not sacred. Cat, come on. I wasn't serious. Still have our knees apart. Just kind of relax here. Now, having your knees up might be where you're at. You might find that you can drop them. You want to drop your feet down together and let your knees open up, almost like a bound angle, elevated. That might feel pretty good. You also might find that stretching your legs out. Sometimes this is a little harder on some people's lower backs. I personally like my feet together in the bound angle. Find whichever is comfortable for you. We're going to take a few good breaths here. Just bring your knees back together, or if you're already got your knees, and just slowly, barely lifting, release your block, and slowly lower back to the ground. Now from here, let's roll over on our bellies. Okay. Putting our arms out to the side. From here, let's take and just kind of shift that right hip a little bit. And let's just come around. Now put your palms facing down. And just bring your leg. You may be here. You may not have much of a twist here. You may be. Some people can just open clear up because they're laying on that arm flat back there. Whatever works for you. You use this. So you're getting a nice stretch here across the end, outside that other arm, because it needs to be straight out from the side. I have a flower pot in my way, so, and the deck ends. So I can't get a good stretch there. And you're getting a nice stretch here in your back. If you can find that arm behind you to get a little bit more stretch, then that's fine. Take about 3 good breaths here. Slowly bring your leg back over your arm and rotate yourself back onto to your belly. So look in the other direction. Get a better idea of here where we're at. Placing the right hand up against by your chest. Just rotate that hip around. You can see a better idea now what I mean by stretching on the thing. And if you can bring that arm on around, you can. more breath here. Release the leg. And release all around. And just lay there on your belly for just a minute. Don't you wish you could just lay here all day? From here, let's just roll ourselves right back over on the back. Bring our feet together, knees wide. Let's find a reclining bound angle. Keep palms up in the air. Shoulders rotated back. Let's just reach up and grab the outsides of our feet. Find a happy baby. Let's try to keep our booty as close to the ground as we can. Shoulders dropped as far as we can. Knees toward the armpits. Maybe you want to rock a little bit. Maybe you want to straighten one leg. Maybe straighten the other leg. Both legs. And let's just bring your feet together and hug our knees to our chest. But really hug. Really tuck that chin and bring your face as close as we can to our knees. Give ourselves a big old hug. If there's any last thing that you want to do, go ahead and do it. Otherwise, let's find ourselves in a reclining position, letting our feet drop open. Don't even sharpen your claws on my good mat. Shoulders rolled back, palms facing forward, eyes closed. Ouch. And from here, let's just start to slow down our breathing. Let's start to acknowledge the sounds around us again. Whether it be the trees, the birds, whether you have your music on, the alpaca humming in the background. Let's take a nice breath in and breath out. Think of a nice fragrance that you like, whether it be honeysuckle, fresh mowed grass, baking cookies, certain essential oils. And imagine that smell. Breathe in that smell. And maybe the happy feelings, the feelings that it gives you. A friend of mine yesterday said that I was fortunate enough to be able to see because they've been quarantining also. And we took a big long walk through the woods. And as we were coming across the hayfield, she says, "Oh, smell. That smell." Well, it's something that I'm used to all the time. But she was smelling the wild roses blooming. And she was smelling the grass that was in the hayfield. And the smell of the oak trees. These are smells that she doesn't smell all the time. But she said to me, these are bringing back so many childhood memories of living in Illinois. Of living where we took the food out to the hayfield while they were cutting hay. And walking through the fields and the woods. Those smells can bring back such good memories. And she was so enjoying herself because they were just bringing back floods of memories just by smells that I could not smell at that time because I'm so used to them. So as you lie there and you relax, breathe in a smell that makes you happy. Feel that peace that it brings, maybe back to your childhood or to a happy time. Sometimes when you don't notice things on a daily basis, but then it's brought to your attention and you actually sit and close your eyes and just breathe. And you have to use the sense of smell, hearing. You start to feel things there that you didn't know were there. You start to smell smells, hear things that you didn't notice before. And as you breathe those smells in and listen to those sounds, start to realize that your toes and your feet are starting to relax and feel heavy. As it starts to spread slowly up through your calves and your knees. Then moves on up through the muscles of your thigh and into your hips, across your pelvis. And you realize everything from your hip bones down is now heavy and relaxed. You feel a relaxation creeping in to your lower abdomen, your belly button, and up to the bottom of your rib cage. As it starts to sink towards your spine. As it creeps underneath your rib cage and then wraps around, and the heaviness just draws everything down. It's so relaxing. As it creeps on up across your chest and settles just below your collarbones. And we bring our attention to our fingers and our hands as they start to relax and feel heavy. All this time you're breathing in that happy smell and you're listening to the sounds around you. You can't concentrate on anything else because you're paying attention to how your body is and the sounds and the smells. As the relaxation spreads across your forearms and up into your elbows. Comes right on up through into your biceps, the big muscles in your shoulders, and it spreads on across above those collarbones to the other side. Our breath is nice and slow. Everything is relaxed and heavy. As we bring that relaxation on up into our neck and our throat, feel it creep up to the bottom of our jaws. From there, the relaxation comes right up into the base of your head, to the back where the muscles reach on up. And it starts to come from your ears around to your jaws as it slowly creeps up your face. You feel your jaw relax. Your tongue falls to the bottom of your mouth. And as it gets to your eyes, let's roll our eyes up and look at our third eye in the middle of our forehead. As we do that, we realize that our whole face just relaxed. Because if your eyes are rolled up and you're looking at your third eye, with your eyes closed, it completely relaxes your face. Now let's just relax our eyes back to normal, feeling the tension release across our forehead, all the way up to the crown of our head. Your body is now completely relaxed and heavy. All you know is the smell and the sound and your breath. You almost can't even feel your body. As you lay there nice and relaxed, I'm going to bring my hands to heart center. Because at the end of this practice, you can come out of this state whenever you want to. You'll be able to start to wiggle your fingers and toes, roll to the side and hug it in. But you stay here as long as you need to. Thank you for allowing me to take you through this journey today. Remember what your intention was as you set it for the day. Remember, you are important and you must take care of yourself before you can take care of anyone else. You cannot change the way other people think. You cannot change the things that other people do. You can only guide. The divine light in me sees the divine light in you. Let it shine. Let it envelop you. Stay relaxed as long as you want to in this practice today. Namaste.